Okay, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Pretty Girl Jew, and today we're going to get into some more women's basketball talk. The first thing I want to get into is this guy named Jason Whitlock. I don't know who this man is, but ever since the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, I've been just seeing so many different clips of him on Twitter with his non-conventional opinions. He seems like a sellout, a coon to me, and I'm just not feeling this guy. So I'm gonna watch this video. I have not seen it yet, so we'll be watching it together and let's go ahead and see what this man is talking about. I'm not going to blow it up because I don't want it to skip on you guys, but let's go ahead and get into it.
A memo went out before that game yesterday. It was like, hey, guys, we're making a fool of ourselves. We're pissing everyone off. We're exposing how wicked and demonic and racist we are. Sue Bird, cut it out. Diana Taurasi, cut it out. Lynette Woodward, put out an apology. Dawn Staley, run out here and continue this gimmick that you love God and that, Caitlin Clark is great. You know how long ago Dawn Staley could have told everybody, hey, get up off of Caitlin Clark's back? You know how long ago she could have done that? But she waited until after she won a championship.
Time to fuck out. We gonna stop right here. Time out, time out. Flag foul on the play, okay? What the fuck does her religion have to do with anything? I don't understand what this, Christian that. What does that have to do with the game of basketball? For two, Dawn Staley is not obligated to put Caitlin Clark on a pedestal when she is fighting for a championship for her own team. She did it at the right time. She gave her props. Yeah, we took y'all down. We took you down. Unfortunately, you weren't able to walk up out of here with a ring, but you are great no matter what.
And now it's time to back off and tell everybody. She could have done when some woman she didn't know that had nothing to do with women's college basketball, Rachel Richardson or whatever the Duke volleyball player was, when her auntie talked her into claiming that BY students chanted the N-word at her, Dawn Staley jumped in this conversation from South Carolina. Duke is playing BYU in Utah in volleyball. Dawn Staley jumped in that conversation all the way from South Carolina to defend Rachel Richardson, who was lying. Caitlin Clark gets abused all season. Everybody's trying to denigrate and diminish her. Dawn Staley's quiet and said, well, now that I got my championship, now God is good. It ain't God.
What does he mean all season? People been getting down on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is literally the face of women's basketball, where you're going to have people that fuck with her. You're going to have people that don't. Why would Dawn Staley at any moment during the season have to come out and speak on behalf of Caitlin Clark? That's not her position. Did Lisa, what's the Iowa coach name? Lisa Blunder or whatever, however you say it. Has she come out and spoken out? Did she come out and speak out against about, oh, this player is so great and oh, this player is so great after they won the SEC championship? Like, come on, man. Like, it's just she gave her props when her props were due, when it was all said and done after the fact. Why would I be sitting here bigging up another player when I have my own team of players that I need to be bigging up during this moment on our way to the championship? Why am I along the way going to be applauding Caitlin Clark when Caitlin Clark is the competition? Does that make any fucking sense? This man is stupid.
God funny, and God answers all prayers. And oh, I'm so highly favored now that I've won a champion. You was favored long before you won your first championship, and this is your third. And now you got all these crocodile tears on your third championship. You're more emotional about a third championship. You've lost one game in 2 years. And now, oh, God, isn't God so good? I just won my third championship. And I'm just bent over and I'm crying because I've lost.
What's his issue, though? I don't get his issue. Like, I'm not understanding what any of this has to do with basketball, with the game, with the individual players. with her winning the championship. Like I just, this is not making sense to me. Like I don't, it's like this man, this is what you call someone who is a self-hater, because he's taking any moment he can to big up Caitlin Clark and throw salt on any black coach, any black player. It's like, damn, like we get it. You're a coon. We get that. But what does any of this have to do with Caitlin Clark? Caitlin Clark lost. So even Dawn Stanley in the final moment giving Caitlin Clark her props was optional. She didn't have to do that. Like, are you dumb?
One game in 2 years, and now this is proof of how good God is. Dawn Staley won a championship. God is good. What had you lost? What would you have said?
I think she would have said God is still good, because we've finished the season yet again on top. So I don't understand where religion. This is what I don't get. I don't get where religion. And this is somebody who, let's read his bio. Christian. That's the first thing that comes up. Growth requires sacrifice, ignorance, perversion, pride, ingratitude, cowardice. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? How are you sitting on here talking all this Christian talk, but yet any chance you get as a Christian, you're tearing people down about things that have nothing to do with Christianity? Like, this is basketball, and then you want to bring religion into it? I don't understand that. But we're gonna go ahead. I want y'all to leave a comment below. How do y'all feel about this person in particular? Like, I'm not one to big one player up over another one, black versus white. Man, I'm over that bullshit. Caitlin Clark is a dog on the court. Anybody who watches basketball can see that. Everyone is not going to agree with Caitlin Clark in terms of if she's a GOAT or a great or not, simply because she did not get a ring. That doesn't mean people are just all of a sudden turning on her. Like, she's literally the face of women's basketball. Like, what is he talking about? Just like Angel Reese. Yeah, there are people who care for Angel Reese. There are people who don't. That's with any player. LeBron, there are people who love LeBron. There are people who hate him. Like, that's a part of the game. So what are we talking about here? Like, that pissed me off, because his viewpoints are always racial and discriminatory and one side versus the next. And then in the same sentence, it's not about race. So why are you literally making things black and white? Like, I don't get this. Like, Caitlin Clark has nothing to do with South Carolina. So throughout the season, at any point, was Dawn Staley obligated to big up Caitlin Clark? Like, are you stupid? We're gonna watch this Gilbert Arenas video, because he actually, to me, makes very valid points.
A lot of hate in the air.
Pertaining to women's basketball. And so this is going to speak on, and I haven't watched this yet, so we're going to be watching it together, but this, I guess, is his opinion on the WNBA's biggest haters. Let's see what this is about.
Got to talk about some hate that the women's side is getting. Michael Porter Jr.
And if my camera goes off, it's Snoop Doggy Dogg time. If you don't know what that is, figure it out.
Pulled up to the pivot recently, had this to say about the women's game.
Uh-oh. And they're very talented, but so is a famous ping pong player. They're just as talented as like the best ping pong player is just as talented as the best basketball player. That doesn't mean they're going to get paid the same, because
they play ping pong.
It's what the people want to watch. You know what I mean? So as much as I understand females wanting the same treatment as men basketball players, it's a different sport. People, they're not packing out the arenas. Obviously, their TV deals aren't the same. So as much as I advocate for women and kind of the equality of the respect of their craft and all those things, I mean, you can't pay them the same thing, you know, but I do feel like there should be a little way to make a little bit more money for them, because they are very talented.
Correct. Yeah, I think the big thing, obviously, when you think,
I agree with what he's saying. I do. However, I think he just didn't articulate it properly, because comparing ping pong to basketball is literally comparing apples to oranges. So I don't know where he was going with that. But in terms of viewership and things of that sort, yes, I get it. If you're not bringing in the views, we're not going to pay you the money. That's just common knowledge, you know. But let's finish seeing what they talk about.
Thinking about negotiations, labor unions, and different things like that. I don't believe there's any woman that believes she should be paid as a man gets paid. It's more about the revenue share. It's more about the percentage. And I think those things play into it. And then the other side of it is treatment, you know, within their own organizations. Like they're never, like they don't.
Hello. He articulated it perfectly. It's not that we want dollar for dollar matched with men. It's the fact that, damn, like I'm just finding out that the highest paid WNBA player doesn't even make $1 million a year in terms of salary. So it's like, damn, like, and I understand that people are like, oh, well, the NBA is basically paying their salaries, but damn, they not even making $1 million though. Like, look at how much the male basketball players are making compared to the women's basketball players. If that's the case, just cut out the league then. Cut the WNBA out then. Like, damn. But don't sit there and pay a man $225 million and then you pay a female WNBA player a max of 700 and something $1,000 a year. Like, that's crazy. That's insane.
Well, it's not as exciting.
No, it's not as exciting.
It's not as exciting basketball.
Yeah, you're not.
They got to lower the rims. I would watch a girl coming down the lane. On another, I would watch that. They need to lower the rims.
They're actually.
So Lexi, you have some thoughts on MPJ?
So let me ask you guys this, because a lot of people have said that they believe, and I even had somebody ask me this recently, do I feel that the WNBA should lower the basketball rims? I honestly don't think that's going to make a difference. I don't think that's going to make a difference. I still feel like when you lower the basketball rims, you'll have a few who go up and they'll slam dunk the ball, but they're not going to be dunking it like LeBron James and Jason Tatum or, you know, Anthony Edwards or some shit. They're not going to be doing that with the basketball. So when you say, oh, I'll watch a woman dunk the basketball, are you trying to watch a woman dunk a basketball like LeBron James? Like, where are your expectations in terms of dunking? You get what I mean? Like, so me personally, I don't feel like lowering the rim is going to make a difference because as we see, we just watched women's college basketball. Look at the views. The views are getting more numbers than the NBA. So why lower the rim? I don't think lowering the rim is going to make a difference. I think that we needed a moment in women's basketball. And Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark brought that moment. That's what it was. We needed a moment, a special moment, a good moment, a rivalry moment. And Angel Reese last year, like I said, when she won that ring and she was on that court doing all of this and taunting basically and flexing and showing people, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, we got that ring. Yeah, this is our year. Yeah, next year we coming for it too. Yeah, all that. Like, that is what brought the attention to women's basketball. It wasn't just the gameplay. Obviously, women have been game playing for years. It's the energy. It's that youth. It's just a different vibe recently with women's basketball. And I think that that's what's been missing. But let's go ahead and continue.
Comments, floor is yours.
Well, let me start by saying I think his heart was in the right place. So I'm not here to shit on Michael Porter Jr. I do think he started on the right foot, and then he just kind of put his foot in his mouth and like.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, he has some points, he just didn't articulate them right. My issue with
The pivot is they allow these guys to say things that they know is wrong, and they just are like, okay, keep going, or they'll feed them more information for them to then double down on the stupid shit that they had just said. So
I can't really say wrong because everyone's entitled to their opinion. Like, his opinion, he's coming from a male perspective. You don't have to agree with it. It's no right or wrong when it comes to an opinion, but there are better answers than not, I guess, if that makes sense. There are some answers that are just better than others, opinion or not.
So, I mean, there's like a lot to unpack in his like statements, identifying us as females instead of women the whole time, that we can't get treated the same. And then he then says treatment to payment, which are two completely different things. We can still be treated with respect, and they can respect our craft without us making $20 to $30 million a year. Like, those things are not, like, both of those things can happen. We cannot get paid $30 million, and we can be respected and treated well for being professional basketball players lowering the rims comment, you already know how I feel about that. It's stupid. It doesn't benefit me personally at all.
I just said that same thing. It doesn't make sense to lower the rim. Like, that's why I'm like, he had me for a minute and then he lost me.
Because I'm
You can't
still
dunk
not going to
them.
dunk.
Yeah.
I just said that. They're still not going to dunk. It's not the nature of women's basketball. Now, if the rims begin getting lowered in in high school, going into college, cool. But starting out in the WNBA, like, they ain't been dunking. They not finna just start dunking.
I can't dunk on a 10-foot rim. I'm definitely not going to dunk on a 9-foot rim. It's going to fuck up my shooting. It's going to fuck up everybody's shooting. And I just feel like the way he plays basketball, like, he shoots a lot of threes. I just don't. He doesn't dunk. He wants us to dunk. You dunk. Like, what are we talking about? It's a tired conversation. And I'm very annoyed with men continuing to create these spaces to discuss these things when they don't watch our games, they don't know us, they don't ask us our opinions about anything ever. And like,
Preach, baby. She ain't saying nothing but a motherfucking word coming from somebody who I don't even know who Michael Porter Jr. is, but which explains a lot. So if you don't dunk yourself, how are you sitting here talking about the next motherfucker? Like, make it make sense.
if you don't have to watch us play, that's fine. But like, for you to just sit there and just constantly shit on our craft, our product, and everything without really being tuned in, like, it's just not, it's not right at this point. But again, you don't have to watch.
Basically, so what she's saying in terms of wrong. So now that I've heard her explain it more, when she says wrong, she means that, okay, he's entitled to his opinion, yes. But you have an opinion about a sport that you're not engaged with. So that makes your opinion invalid. So I get her then. Okay, I'll take that back what I said at first. Because what?
Watch anything. But
Like,
y'all always want to talk about us, so might as well watch us. Shit. Like, damn.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
What is the problem? What is the solution?
Right.
Now, if we can't, one, answer the questions, and we can't come to any resolve about any of the conversations that's being had, right? So a lot of times when we do ask the question, so what's the problem?
Yeah. I mean, everyone says the problem is the product.
I just stated what the problem was. Like I said, there have been many of basketball players, women basketball players coming out of college and are doing their thing today in the WNBA. But the type of energy that these NCAA women's college basketball players have been bringing over the past 2 to 3 years has been on a different level. That energy, like they're bringing the male energy without being able to dunk. You get what I mean? Everything they're bringing is male-like, with the exception that they're not dunking. And so I think that when you have people like Angel Reese who all up in your face with it, unapologetically her, and you got someone like Caitlin Clark who just putting up astronomical numbers, is just an outstanding ball player, and you got these two women head to head at a point, like, that's amazing for women's basketball. Like, that's what we need. We need more male energy in the WNBA. And I think that's what, or just women's basketball in general. And I think that is the difference between what we've seen before and what we're seeing now. Like, these women right now, they want it. They're hungry. They balling like men. Some of them play like little men. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's different. It's a different type of energy. We in a different generation. Like, it's just different times. And I think that the women are adapting to that. But let's see what she said.
That's not the problem. There's great basketball being played throughout the entire W. Then we're either getting compared to NBA, which everyone complains about how NBA is being played right now. So we either get compared to that, or we get compared to the three.
I just said that, male energy.
Most marketed women's college basketball games of the entire women's college basketball season. So we're stuck in the middle, just getting it from both sides. If we were out there playing bad basketball, like, I would understand, but like, that's not the case. So marketing, promotion, our equity in our media deals, all that, it's a very layered issue.
Let me ask you this. You said you're playing good basketball, and you feel that.
Yeah.
So if we ask NBA players right now, are you guys playing good basketball right now? Do you think they would say yes? Consensus, it's like a consensus of
They say it publicly, so I can't hear their true opinions.
But they would say, yeah, like we're playing good basketball.
Yes.
So the real consensus and the real judgment doesn't come from the internal.
Right.
The players are always going to stay within the players' consensus. We playing pretty good basketball. We don't feel like we're playing basketball bad, but then you go to the fans and us, who we could say, hey, the basketball is shit right now when we watch the NBA.
But it's not coming from our fans. It's coming from
the people who have the voice.
People who don't really watch the game.
Right. Yeah.
But when you look at the fans don't have a voice as much as we do as interpreting what the fans are telling us and feeding us, and we just push it out, right? Mm-hmm. So, like I said, the solution. What is the solution to you believing that y'all are playing good basketball, but the fans are showing otherwise because they're not coming out to support, which would change the sales?
But that's what I mean, though. They are coming out to support. Yes, at a point, but that's changed now. That don't I guess I don't understand what the asking that question a couple of years ago would have been valid. Asking that question today, I don't understand. But let's keep listening.
Would change the concessions and all of the things that make the W boom, right. And even for the NBA would boom more if everyone felt the basketball was really being played at a high level. Now, if we got a bunch of guys scoring at a high level as they are, 70s, 60s, 50s, how many ladies in the W are doing that, putting on a show?
Right.
Like Asia, she was 55, something like that, 57. That was the only outburst. And then you got Sabrina with the three-pointers. Those are the two things that we're looking at like, all right, that will be entertaining. Enrique in Dallas, she shows some stuff. Point guard for the Aces is to Chelsea. She shows her thing every now and again. But at the end of the day, where's the flash and dash? And we look at Juju. Mm-hmm. We look at Caitlin.
Right.
You look at Angel. Right. These are girls who are in college that give an entertainment quality, but they're not in a W. So when you talk about the solution, it's like, all right.
Didn't I just say that? I literally just said that. I said the women today, they're bringing a different type of energy to the game of women's basketball. They're bringing a male energy to the game of basketball. Some of them even ball like men. So asking the question that he's asking would have been a more valid question, like I said, about 5 years ago. But over the past 3 years, women's basketball has slowly elevated, specifically in college, which means that those college players are only going to what? Go to the W, right? And he's saying it. Well, what the W is missing, the NCAA has. So that's what's next up. That's what y'all need. That's what women's basketball need in order to be compared or even in the same conversation with men's basketball. That's how I'm taking this. But let me know what y'all think below. I'm saying all this. I know what I be talking about. Quit playing with me.
You hear a bunch of people giving their opinion on the problem. We got to figure out how you guys can deliver the solution so it can be delivered to you guys.
Right.
Because if there is no solution, it's like you got to deal with everybody keep identifying the problem.
But it's just, and I completely understand where you're coming from, but it's like we're getting shit on because our league is so small and so talented. Like those outbursts are hard because you have
a lot of good players. Yep.
Players on your team.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, you'll get maybe a 50 ball here, a 40 ball.
I feel like me translating what she's saying is like, we got talent that nobody believes in. That's how I'm taking it.
All there. But it's hard. And we actually be D'ing up. Like, right. I tell y'all that all the time. Like, maybe we'll play less defense to, like, up the entertainment value, which I completely understand. But, like, the people watching got to understand when that happens. Like, we're getting yelled at by our coaches and all these things. So it's like, it's a cycle, and I think we're getting there. You know, we don't take as many threes as the NBA does yet. I think we're heading in that direction. I think this draft.
Oh, you better believe y'all are, because that's what y'all need. Like he mentioned, like, you better believe y'all are. Y'all got the Caitlin Clarks coming up in there. Like, come on now.
Class in next year's draft class, I think they're going to make a big effort to keep these players in the league, to keep the eyes on the league. But, like, that has nothing to do with us.
All right.
Because I did my research on all of it. The problem is that the WNBA girls that are in there now, are too selfish to sacrifice today for the future. From day one, they handicapped American girls, right? So the American girls, if you're born in America,
Camera about to go off, guys, but it's coming back on shortly.
you have to go to college and play to a certain age, right? Overseas girls who have no following, right? You don't have an American following, but because you turn pro at an early age, because there's no high school basketball, you can come into the NBA or the WNBA at 18, 19 years old. Well, the product that has the following here has to wait. So you're sitting in college. Now think about how college basketball is. For the most part, it becomes dinosaurish, right? So for 3 years, whatever wild horse came into college basketball with their style out of high school has been whipped into a team type of player, a system player. When that system player gets into the W, she follows the rules. The problem with the W is if you don't allow the youth to come in and change the game, change it, right? You think about what I'm saying is you think about the Jujus and the Kellys and all those guys. If they come into the league right now, Taurasi them can't physically keep up with these girls, which means get the fuck out of the league already. Retire.
I was just saying this, man. I pre-recorded something the other day and it didn't record right. I was just saying this on my last reaction. If you can't keep up, you gotta go. Taurasi is in her 40s. You have people coming in, they're half her age, literally. You cannot keep up with them. That's the truth. Yeah, the Asia Wilsons, Brianna Stewart's, Kelsey Plum. Yeah, cool. Yeah, they can keep up with them because they're in their prime. You know, they're late 20s, early 30s, mid-late 20s, early 30s. So yeah, cool. But the Diana Taurasi's, no, you're not keeping up with them. Candace Parker's, no, y'all not keeping up with them. These are some young girls.
Retire. These girls is too fast. They're moving too fast at a speed you can't keep up with. But if I get to play against another 40-year-old, because we get to sit in here at 40 years old, it is easy to play basketball then. But if I got to stick someone think about Jeff Teague when he retired, right? At 30-something. It's because somebody was moving. Like, I can't keep up with these dudes. I'm out. Make room for somebody else. So what ends up happening is the product, the thing that pushes the W into another category.
What it sounds like to me is that he's saying that the WNBA is full of a bunch of mean girls. And when the new girls come in, they just adapt. They're not allowed to be the player that they were in the NCAA, which I get it. There's levels to it. So there are some changes that has to be made. But ultimately, what it sounds like from him is the vets in the game, they're mean girls. And they're not allowing these younger players to come in and help shake shit up.
Category of money is sitting in college.
Yep. It's been sitting in college.
I just said that. Angel Reese them they have to go to the WNBA this year. If Angel Reese wanted to stay another year at college, she couldn't. They need her. They need the views. They need the numbers. That is why Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige, I get her. She was injured. So yeah, she got to stay another year. I personally feel like Angel Reese would benefit from staying playing another year. I think all of them will honestly benefit from staying one more year playing college ball. But the WNBA can't afford that.
It's always said all your stars.
Our draft class 2018, I think our entire first round picks are still actively playing. But it has taken so many years for us to get our own names and faces that whatever hype we had in college
is lost.
It's like non-existent. Yep. Unless you're at an active social media, do other stuff. But then you've got to go to Europe and play. Now you're dark for 8 months. Now you come back. You're like, oh, I'm back. And everyone's like, wait, who are you again?
Yeah.
You're our draft pick?
Like look at this class right here.
That sucks. So it seems like the WNBA it's tough. It's and not only that, it's a smaller league. So it just seems a lot tougher for them, which I'm glad that they're expanding it. And I think in 2026, they're going to have a new team out in Oakland, the Bay Area. So, I mean, that's good news. So there's growth for the WNBA from what it looks like.
Here, right? The names you're saying, all those girls can stay in college one more year.
Yeah.
Right? They can stay in college one more year. They have the most popular names amongst, if we say just women's basketball itself, some of those college girls would be part of these names. Some of them might be in front of W, like one or two, like most famous basketball player right now. One of those college girls is going to be one or two, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a product inside the W, which those are the girls that's going to move the needles. Those are the girls that's going to get all the lipstick thing. Think about the youth that follows them, right? Those are the ones who buys the jerseys, buys the products. They're the ones who put money into the game. The NBA, when Jordan retired the first time and they started using the youth, Kobe, KG, T-Mac, they started pushing the younger talent.
Do you think if he didn't retire, that would have happened then?
Probably not. Like, that's what I'm saying. Who's the Trojan horse that takes the W, right? If you're saying it's Juju, then you need to make a rule where she can come in now. She can come in now.
Because the thing about the rule is,
you're talking about
a rule. You don't have to leave. So I've always been very much against that, letting them.
He ain't saying nothing but a word, because my thing is, I don't understand why the women have to wait until their senior year or whatnot. Because I think last year, Caitlin was a junior last year and she was not draft eligible. How is it that a junior is not draft eligible, but men as freshmen can go straight into the league? And then, like he said, the overseas players, they're 18, 19. They don't have the same rules. So they can come over here. We pick them up. They 19 playing in the WNBA. And our girls have to wait until they 21, 22. Like, it's just, they're going to change those rules, though. They're going to change the rules. Within the next 2 years, they're going to have those rules switched up. Watch.
Them come out whenever rule, because then I think some girls will come out that shouldn't. And then what? But you don't have to.
What I'm saying is, it shouldn't. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like the NBA, Kobe is not compared to Eddie Jones, right? That's who he's in. Eddie Jones is an all-star. This kid is 18. We're not on the same playing field. I know his trajectory, so he has a spot no matter what.
Right.
He's protected no matter what. My number one pick coming out of high school, 18, right? She is protected no matter what, because one, her understanding the hits, understanding being the pro, by the time she would have got in here versus, like, she's, even though she don't play this year, she battles with you guys in practice every day. By the time by the time it would be her regular rookie year, she'd be 3 years in, she might be a dominant pro by then, right? Those are what's missing in the game.
Yeah.
And then same thing, get rid of some of those dinosaur-ass coaches, right? What is your offense? Do y'all run UCLA cut?
No.
How many teams actually run UCLA cut in the W?
I don't think many anymore.
He ain't lying, though. If we got to switch things up with the mentality of the players, we got to switch some shit up with the coaches, too.
Because I know I was, what was the coach from Detroit? Bill and Bear. I was watching a game where I'm watching him. I'm like, wait, are they running UCLA? Is that the UCLA flex cut?
When Becky came in.
Yeah, like that.
She shut all that shit down.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You need to put speeds in. So if you guys shoot three, y'all should be shooting 43s a game.
Oh, I agree. But I hope in the new CBA, which is about to be renegotiated, rookie contracts become one of your guaranteed ones. I think that would help with this youth movement.
35 and over. 32 and over. I don't have no value for you.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Really is the ultimate sacrifice that the WNBA has to make is integrity of the game and entertainment value. This is the ultimate sacrifice the NBA made. When he's talking about when Michael Jordan retired, the game changed the format that allowed players who had the abilities to be more entertaining to bring in more seat fillers. So when you look at the WNBA, it's compared to, in my eyes, the EuroLeague. EuroLeague compared to NBA is a totally different game because they play with integrity. It's boring. It's real basketball. And real basketball is boring because you're running sets, you're talking on defense, you're doing everything
the whole shot clock.
You learn from college.
But is that real basketball?
From where we come from the foundation of it, right? Yeah. So then you look at the W, it's foundational basketball from college. So it looks like still college basketball, but it's just older women playing college basketball. It's not entertaining. So the sacrifice that needs to be made is
not older women playing college basketball.
Is when Juju and Caitlin and all of these other younger players come in, allow them to be more entertaining. Yeah. Take the fossils out of the game, which are running the fossil offenses.
In right now that are entertaining like that, they just.
But we see them. But
they're harnessed by coaches.
Yeah. So you got the sacrifice of the game.
And
he said that the coaches too.
And so much rides on if you win things instead of just how you play and how you carry yourself. And I think once we can separate that as well, like I think more players will be more comfortable just hooping. Like, yes, you want to win. Obviously, if you're a good enough player, wins will come. But if you're out there hooping and you don't win a championship or you don't make it to the finals, like you can't be like, but that's what happens. That's what
In the
happens
NBA right now, how many box outs do you actually see?
None.
All right. The integrity of the game when it comes to box outs, cool. Rotations, how many rotations do you truly
None.
see happening, right? When you talk about the sacrifice that was made is we don't hold them accountable for the small things that made basketball anymore.
Right.
They let that go.
But because we're women, it's like we have to do everything the right way.
Everything, yeah.
So
Yeah, damn, that's crazy. But yeah, that's true though.
But
the right way is get it done. If I got a girl that can come down, if Caitlin, right? If she comes in and jack shots, that's her game, and she comes to the W, and I say we don't play like that.
Yes.
I'm as a coach, if I'm a coach,
and they right, they gotta let them play their game. They can. That's why I'm like these threes and stuff. It's coming because that's how Caitlin Clark play. But just like Gil said, like these people, they don't allow the young talent to come in and be entertaining. They got these rules that you must follow, and that it brings the game down. It just brings the entertainment value down. So yeah, man, that shit true as fuck.
I did a disjustice to the league itself by doing
100%.
She is famous. She is the number 1-2 pick because of this style.
Yes.
If I do not adapt to this style, I ruined the game for you. Lowering the rim for dunking, you're not selling your game to NBA and dudes. It's called women's basketball. There's women out there everywhere that supports the game. So you lowering the rim to 7 foot and 6 foot, who gives a fuck what we think? My daughter's not watching the game for dunking.
Right.
She's not watching the game for this.
It's so much more to basketball than dunking. Like, come on now. Can you hoop? Like, can you play?
She's watching the game for what it is because that's how she plays it. So that's your fan base. You have to.
Oh yeah,
right,
tapping the women.
Like high school
girls.
Think about high school girls and college girls. Your fan base, they play a whole different. Think about what I'm saying. They live a whole different style and play a whole different style than you. They dress different. They roll they little shorts up, thigh. Y'all got on long shorts. Y'all are old women to them, right?
I don't wear long shorts.
No, I'm just saying for the most part, y'all. So y'all.
I'm real cute on that word, please.
No, think about it. When you guys come into the draft, y'all got on suits, business women stuff. What do you think a 16-year-old girl is looking at? What the hell is that?
We need to pull up my draft class picture.
No, I'm just saying for just consenting.
I don't think we had. I think we had maybe one or two.
No, I'm just saying, but you are women.
Yeah.
But your audience is girls.
Yeah.
Right? So it's two different. So there's a bridge that's gone because you're 22. These girls are 16, 17, 18. So the look that they have versus what they see is very different to them.
That's great that you said that because I was just with a bunch of women in like the fashion and entertainment industry, and I had been meeting them for the first time, and they all said it. I had no idea that WNBA players looked like you. Mm-hmm. I've never seen one, and I was like,
damn.
That's what I've been trying to tell people though, because people think I get in my feelings because I don't get promoted. I don't do this. I'm not one of the WNBA faces, whatever. No, I don't care. I'm doing my own thing. I love playing basketball. It's cool. But I didn't grow up seeing girls look like me out there, their hair done, their nails done, their lashes, makeup on. I love all of that, as long as you take care of business on the court. Mm-hmm. But I've had a group of women, like my age, a little older maybe, tell me that this is the first time they've seen a WNBA player that looks like me. And I'm just kind of like...
Okay, y'all. So my bad. I had to go get my charger because my laptop is about to die. But yeah, so what do y'all think about that? Because I feel like a lot of valid points were made. I agree with the majority of the things that were discussed in this particular video, the Jason Whitlock video. I don't care for that man. He for somebody who's this devout Christian and walk by faith, and his energy, the energy that he puts out, the division that he puts out, he always seems like he's coming from a racially derogatory place, especially when it comes to black people. Like, I'm just not feeling that. So I don't really too much care for him, but I just wanted to see what he was talking about just to have something to talk about with y'all. So, whew, I have to run upstairs, my bad. So, that's pretty much all for me. Make sure y'all like, comment, or subscribe. I'm trying out this new software. I've never done this before, so hopefully it plays well for you guys. If not, hopefully you guys enjoy the audio portion of this and can hear it clearly. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Keep it cute in the comments. Until next time, deuces.